Tag team action. We have Team USA, Jordan King and Karen Rose, taking on the German War Machine, Panzer, and the Brute from Bray, Brooke Power. Oh, and the strength of Jordan King! Tag to Karen Rose. Karen, double drop kick.
Shrugging off all this offense.
Oh, and we have a little bit of a strike contest going on here. Oh, and a cutter out of nowhere. Oh,
well, it is a...
Oh my God! Oh my God, DK! She knocked her out!
Oh my!
She knocked Brooke Power out!
I cannot believe what we have just seen here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after that shocker from the inaugural episode of Power Pro Wrestling, we are back tonight, getting right into the action with a chance at revenge for Brooke Power. I'm joined by my broadcast colleague, Johnny Jett. Johnny, how's it going?
Absolutely fantastic, DK. Proud to be here on this historic night for the history of our sport.
It should be a historic night indeed, especially with this match coming up. Should be an absolute, I would say, blood feud after what Brooke Power went through last week. What do you say, Johnny?
Promises to be a slobber knocker, DK. Brooke Power knocked out in her professional wrestling debut by the Queen of New York, Karen Rose. Karen Rose there on your screen right now, wrestling fans, making her way to the ring.
Karen Rose, again, as we said last week, an absolutely fantastic competitor, but the knockout finish of last week's match, again, a shocker. Power to be looking brutally, perhaps, for revenge tonight.
I wouldn't doubt it in the least, DK. Brooke Power, she has to be coming into this bout with something to prove. You see there Karen Rose with that drop toe hold, controlling the match early on here.
Absolutely, and both competitors already with the displays of strength here.
They are going at this full tilt from Jump Street, DK. They are not holding anything back. This is to prove a point. Karen Rose wants to prove that she is the baddest chick on the planet. Brooke Power wants to prove that what happened last week was a fluke. And we'll see who is correct here this evening, I believe, DK.
Absolutely.
Whip into the ropes there. Goes Karen Rose. Big back body, dropping an elbow. Pinfall, but not even a 1 count.
In the air. Ooh.
She brings her down to the mat. Ooh, that spinning back fist, but Karen Rose not even stunned by it, DK. Irish whip into the corner for the Irish woman. Big, Manhattan drop. You have to wonder how much that has to hurt Brooke Power this evening.
We've seen a lot of offense in the opening moments from Brooke Power here, but Karen Rose really coming back strong.
Absolutely, DK, and a cover, going for a 1 count. No, not even a 1 count. A lot of quick falls early on here. You see there.
Really, both competitors displaying such endurance so far.
Quite so, and that big lariat there, sending... And a cutter out of nowhere. Ooh, big clubbing blows. It's just stomping on the lower back. Ooh. Brooke Power now controlling this match. Camel clutch applied. Karen Rose escapes. But back to it, and again, she works on the lower back. Elbow drop to the head there. Ooh, and a football tackle sends Brooke Power to the mat.
I think we emphasize Power's mindset coming into this match, and quite rightly so, but you have to wonder what's going on in the mind of Karen Rose. She looks to prove that what happened last week was not just a fluke.
Absolutely. Karen Rose, of course, has competed at a high level against big, strong individuals before, but I don't know if she's ever met a woman quite like Karen Power, who has the raw strength of the Brute from Bray.
Ooh, and that one was close.
A 2 count fall, but not a pinfall. You see the strength of Brooke Power on display so frequently here in this bout, but that has to be wearing down Brooke Power. How often, how much can she lift Karen Rose over her head? course, you also have to wonder, I suppose, how often she'll need to.
That is the question. Each one of those counts seems to be getting longer every time Karen goes down to the mat.
And a rolling lariat by Karen Rose. Big splash there, and a cover of 1. A 2? No 2. Just a 2 count there.
It really feels, after just that match last week, both these competitors have really already felt each other out and are just going for it in this match.
It absolutely seems that way, DK. Grapple from behind. Karen Rose reverses into a bulldog. Both women are back up on their feet, barely. Oh! DK, what would you call this maneuver, DK?
I'm not sure quite what to call that maneuver. I'm not sure about the referee's discretion on that one, but the match does continue.
Of course, here in Power Pro Wrestling, DK, wrestlers do have until the count of 5 to break a illegal hold, but the referee did not even start a count there. You have to wonder what's going through the minds of Red Shoes, our official for this evening, this bout in particular.
It appeared in that particular... Oh my!
A very close call there.
Very close one. It appeared in that particular case the referee did not have a good angle to see whatever you might call that particular hold.
That is very true, of course. Brooke Power's back was to Red Shoes. You can't tell exactly what is going on there, but that the referee should have gotten into better position.
Oh.
And a 3 count!
Off the power bomb. Strong comeback for Brooke Power here tonight.
Tremendous, in fact. You know, DK, that was a heck of a bout. I did not expect... I didn't know what to expect, to be frank, when these two had their return bout.
Absolutely. I think the real question going forward is what's going to happen with Karen Rose here. She still has to ask herself the question of whether or not last week was a fluke.
Absolutely, DK. But she did acquit herself very well in this bout. I think we would be remiss to discount Karen Rose offhand.
That's absolutely right. But obviously the result of the match, Brooke Power with a fairly dominating victory, I think I would say, even with Rose coming back as she did.
Absolutely, a tremendous victory to open up this evening here on Power Pro Wrestling. Of course, we thank you for joining us on this broadcast as we have a tremendous show coming up this evening, and especially in our main event, a bout for the ages. DK, here we have 2 members of the Lion's Den from Empire Wrestling Federation in Japan, Kazuya Kano, going up against Jordan King. The history between these 2 men is phenomenal, outstanding, and historic in its own right. This match has never occurred in the history of our sport.
That's right. It should be absolutely incredible. But before that, we have Team Canada versus Team Mexico here. That is the Golden Boy, Holden Troy, and Heather Lexus taking on La Loba Blanca and El Hijo del Phoenix here tonight.
El Hijo, you say? I would have pronounced that El Hijo.
Well, it's all up in the air at this point, Johnny.
Much like our lucha competitors here will doubtlessly be up in the air. You know, the Lucha Libre style emphasizes the high-flying aspect of professional wrestling.
Well, that's right. And just as we are getting tongue-twisted leading into this match, our competitors would be quite twisted in submission maneuvers as well.
Absolutely true, DK. Team Canada, of course, experts on submission holds. You have to remember, Holden Troy, an Olympic gold medalist.
Absolutely, and La Loba Blanca here, even with that emphasis in the lucha style, no stranger to submissions. And she especially has plenty to prove tonight after her loss last week.
Very true. And here's a man we have not seen before here in Power Pro Wrestling. I've seen him quite a bit. I am a big fan of All Mexico, but we have not seen this gentleman competing here in an American wrestling ring in quite some time, DK. What can you tell us about El Hijo del Phoenix?
Well, Phoenix here is often called the Tijuana Party Boy, has quite a reputation as a partier, fan of the nightlife in Mexico, but once he steps between those ropes, the party is done and really just takes to the air.
And here is a young lady who is not afraid to take to the air, though she is much more comfortable on the mat. She is a much more mat-based grappler than her opponents, perhaps. But Heather Lexus, not a stranger to high flying herself.
That's absolutely right, and she has attempted to prove quite a bit here in Power Pro, coming from Canada in an explicitly gender-divided women's division, looking to prove that she can hang with the men here in Power Pro as well.
Absolutely. And, of course, Power Pro Wrestling is the only place that you can see male-female competition, because we want to see if there is actually any difference between the two competitors, between the two genders. We want to see if the women can hang with the men, and so far, DK, I think they've acquitted themselves quite well.
Absolutely. No weight divisions, no gender divisions here in Power Pro. It's just an absolute clash of styles to see who truly is the best in the world.
That's right. You know, other promotions, DK, have offered the chance to see unlimited competition, but they have also promoted style barriers. They promoted gender barriers. There are no barriers with the Golden Crown. The Golden Crown, DK, is a truly universal championship worthy of being vied for by the world's best wrestling athletes.
That's right, exactly like the two competitors opening up this match here, already showing their wrestling prowess.
Quite so, DK. Now, who do you think has the advantage here? The mat-based Holden Troy or the aerialist El Hijo del Phoenix?
It is really a big question for me coming into this match here. Just such a clash of styles. Again, many promotions do not emphasize this sort of mismatch of styles, and it's really difficult to know what to expect, but I think very exciting as a result.
Of course, you always hear the debate about what happens when the mat wrestler meets the high flyer. If the high flyer can get the advantage and keep the mat wrestler down, he's able to hit more of those aerial maneuvers, hitting, an early Canadian Maple Leaf applied here.
That's right, and you see Holden Troy just really able to slow down Phoenix here. I think really the longer this match goes, the more it favors Team Canada.
I have to agree, DK, because again, going back to the age-old debate, if the grappler is able to ground the aerialist, it's over. It's done. But perhaps Loba Blanca can disprove that. She has a much more mat-based style than many of the professional wrestlers in Mexico that came after her.
That's right, and already going hold for hold here with Holden.
Very impressive. I have to say, La Loba Blanca, she had a hard start last week, but she is looking here this week to kind of revamp herself. She's wanting to prove that last week was a false start, and that she is able to, going forward, live up to the hype of her historic past.
Absolutely. Oh, and that reversal. Holden Troy really coming back strong here.
Holden Troy being smart, grounding the luchador. And Canadian Maple Leaf applied there. We'll see if it is actually able to do significant damage. Loba Blanca escaping, as I say that. Whip into the corner. Wrong corner, perhaps.
Wonder if that's a bit of nerves on the part of Loba Blanca here.
You have to wonder. She could be suffering from something akin to stage fright. That could be the ring rust playing into it.
Again, you would not expect that from the veteran, but as you said, the ring rust could be playing a factor here.
It has been quite some time since she wrestled consistently for a promotion, so it is possible that she's having to relearn a lot of her old tricks. But some things come naturally, of course.
Absolutely, and strong submission there. Holden able to find his way out.
Golden Troy trying for a backdrop, and he fails. That Bulldog just driving his head right into the mat. Going for a wheel kick and a miss, and in comes Heather Lexus. Perhaps a little bit of miscommunication on the part of Team Canada there, but they make
no
up for that double
miscommunication there.
Not at all, DK. Whip into the ropes, and a clothesline takes both women down. Working on the ribs there. STF applied to Heather Lexus.
See, again, a lot of submissions from La Loba Blanca here. You have to wonder if she's perhaps trying a little too hard to prove herself by just going with the style of her opponents tonight.
Well, you have to also wonder if she's been slowed down by the ring rust, DK. She may not be able to go full tilt here tonight. DK, you have more conversation with Team Mexico's camp. How has Loba Blanca been training for this contest?
Well, she's really, as you can see here, I believe, trying to go back to basics to a certain extent, really getting down the mat wrestling, especially as she tries to counter her opponents here in Team Canada.
So how is her cardio coming into this contest? Because, again, we have to notice she's been a bit slower.
It is. That is absolutely the case. It's really a big question still, even for her. She seems quite...
DK, what just happened there?
Oh, I'm not sure.
You see, Phoenix seems to be injured in some way. He's much more sluggish, and this could be serious, DK. He ducks the wheel kick, but there's something clearly wrong.
It definitely appears that is the case.
Armbar applied, and he immediately taps out. What just happened there, DK? Let's take a look at this sequence again to see if we can pinpoint what occurred here.
It appears when he hit the mat there, that must have been an especially vicious strike to the head.
I have to wonder, DK, with that victory roll, there could something have gone wrong with the shoulder of Hijo do Phoenix, or could it be something more serious, a spinal injury?
It's very difficult to say at this point. We'll have to speak with our medical team backstage, but that really did not look good for Phoenix.
And here at ringside, of course, as fans in attendance can see, Hijo do Phoenix is being tended to by medical personnel. I have to hope that he's all right, DK, because that was he was moving fine coming into this bout, and there again, you speak to their camp with some frequency. Were there any indications that he was perhaps suffering from any previous injuries or anything like that going into this match?
No, not at all. It did not seem. He seemed in fine shape coming into this match.
Well, we certainly hope for the best on the part of El Hijo del Phoenix. I'm to be honest, DK, I'm at a bit of a loss for words with that rather abrupt ending to what was promising to be a fantastic contest, and what had been to that point a fantastic contest.
Well, whatever the case, of course, Team Canada coming out strong with the victory here. You have to wonder how La Loba Blanca feels coming out of that matchup, even if she did not take the pinfall in that case. Still another loss after last week.
And now a look at Kazuya Kano.
Hailing from the shadows cast by the rising sun, Kazuya Kano looks to become one of the frontrunners in the chase for the Golden Crown. A veteran of the Young Lions Revolt who has wrestled across Japan, Kano has a well-earned reputation as a wrestling assassin. Since his return from exile and graduation to the heavyweight division, no ace has been safe from his devastating prowess. Many would go so far as to speculate that should Kano settle in one place, he could become the brightest star in all of professional wrestling. However, once he beats the best, Kano has always returned to the shadows, leaving only broken men and battered reputations behind him. There's little room to doubt that Kano is one of the best professional wrestlers in Japan. The question now is, with his first excursion to the United States looming, will he be able to maintain his dominance against the best from around the world? We'll find out here, tonight, on Power Pro Wrestling.
Thank you, DK, for that look at Kazuya Kano. Certainly an accomplished individual in his home country, but he has never before competed on American soil.
That's right, but his opponent here tonight is no stranger to him. Both these men know each other very well. Perhaps that's something you can speak to, Johnny.
Yes, I have actually had some interaction with both of these individuals during my time working with the Empire Wrestling Federation in Japan. Of course, a historic group of individuals that both of them belonged to at a certain point. However, that is in their past now. These men have grown since then. They are better than they once were. And I think that we would be negligent to admit to that growth. Obviously, these are no young lions, as they were when they started. And we see here some footage from the infamous Young Lions Revolt. As Kazuya Kano, you see him there wearing the attire of the Young Lions in Japan, as well as Jordan King, brutalizing one of the veterans of Puroresu in Japan.
I tell you, Johnny, even today, this footage is hard to watch.
A vicious, vicious assault. And of course, they went on from there, teaming occasionally against other veterans. Jordan King and Kazuya Kano. Not a traditional tag team, as we in the United States would think of them. Of course, an effective team nonetheless. Jordan King, of course, later went on to become a tremendous tag team athlete in the United States. Kazuya Kano went on to become the infamous ace assassin, the trouble man of Japan. But of course, they have now reinvented themselves yet again, coming into Power Pro Wrestling.
That's right. And you talk about the history there. Kazuya Kano has faced many of his former partners there in the Lion's Den before, but not Jordan King.
He's done so with victory, in fact, victory after victory, but never Jordan King. Here he is now making his debut in the United States, here in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii, Kazuya Kano. No stranger to out-of-the-ring shenanigans. Many rumors flying around. And here he comes, DK. Jordan King, the Amer Icon Lion. Fresh off of his victorious return to the United States last week in the now well-known Team America versus Team Europe bout.
Only just two competitors at the absolute top of their game with quite a bit of history between each other. This should be one heck of a match.
And quite a bit to prove as well. Serotonin is our official for this bout. Tie up there and a European uppercut by Trouble Man.
These competitors, of course, at one point knew each other very well, but both their styles have evolved since that time.
Quite a bit so, in fact. Jordan King, of course, came to the United States, reinvented himself as a tag team expert, then went back to Japan, became the Amer Icon Lion. And now he has adapted the Japanese King's Road style to the American Showman style to create what he calls the American King's Road. Pun almost certainly intended. Kazuya Kano, on the other hand, after his exodus from the Empire Wrestling Federation there in Japan, disappeared, went off the map for quite some time. When he came back, he had mastered, created, innovated this new style that he calls Ansatsukin Puroresu, which is the assassin style.
And again, both men having quite a bit of success with those respective styles.
Absolutely so. And DK, you have to see here, Jordan King unleashing one of his signature moves repeatedly, trying for that spear that has ended so many matches with so many lesser men. And you have to understand what that means here. That is a finishing move in many contests, but against Kazuya Kano, he's breaking it out regularly. Grounded him and hit those Showas, open palm strikes to the face of Kazuya Kano. You could see Kano covering up there, defending quite well. And Kano goes spilling out to the outside of the ring. The official has begun the count.
Now King has to be careful here because this really is Kano's real work zone, I would say, outside of the ring.
I would have to agree, DK. Kano known for his wild brawling in addition to his martial arts prowess. And they're just trading body slams on this ringside area. Very thin mat covering that concrete.
Oh,
a
yes.
brain buster. Could we see a count-out victory?
Oh, it's very close. Oh, Kano makes it back.
Power Pro Wrestling, of course, uses the 20 count so as to not alienate our guests from other regions. And a spear in the corner, just driving him into that turnbuckle.
I can't imagine Kano has much left after that.
Boom! And certainly not after that vicious DDT. Jordan King to the top rope, and a knee drop, but he misses.
Wow, this is incredible. Kano just shrugging off so much offense there.
Oh, but here, no, oh, it looked like he reversed that pile driver for a moment there, that infamous pile driver. And Jordan King just basking in the cheers, the adulation of the crowd here.
I have to wonder if that's a smart strategy. Certainly you can gain some amount of momentum, whatever you want to call it, from the crowd's energy here, but against a competitor like Kano, you really do not want to give them the chance to catch their breath.
Absolutely, it's pure head games, but these are head games that Kazuya Kano has endured and overcome before. Well scouted on that strike there, a roll up.
Very close to the ropes, though.
Exceedingly close, but I have to imagine that was just an instinctual counter. And this armbar, like this octopus hold, applied here by the ace assassin into the turnbuckle. Boom! And you can see there, I don't know if how well it came across on your screens there, fans, but Jordan King's heel definitely hooked on the turnbuckle padding. And you know that has to just jack up the knees as he made that impact.
Absolutely. You might say on one hand that it was a lucky break for him to be that close to the rope to immediately break the submission, but really extra damage done there as a result of the whole being applied.
Absolutely, DK.
Oh, that's good again.
Breaks him in half, but Kazuya Kano
just shrugs it off immediately to the backbreaker.
Now that's the strong style of Kazuya Kano, of course. Kazuya Kano, a student of strong style. His style is derivative, some would say, of strong style. He disagrees with that though. He believes that he has the all-encompassing style. He is taken from all of the different styles of professional wrestling to make what he believes is the best wrestling art. Oh, and just stepping on the head. The disrespect, or perhaps the head games. No pun intended. Chop exchange here. You have to wonder who's going to get the better of it.
Oh, but
strike. A rolling elbow from Kazuya Kano.
Neither man willing to give anything up here.
Not giving an inch here, DK. They have so much to prove and so much to gain from victory in this contest. Oh, and his head clips that turnbuckle. King able to get that shoulder up just in the nick of time. And he sends him back to the outside. What's King planning here? Double axe handle. Ooh, and a submission on that concrete floor. I don't think that he's going for anything other than just literally choking out his opponent here, DK. That is not going to win you a match. That's going to hurt someone.
Absolutely. I thought we had seen some vicious action here before already in PowerPro, but these two men just beating the hell out of each other.
Absolutely. Oh! And again, going back to these German suplexes. What is that? 4 suplexes now.
And once again in the corner, and once again, King kicks out.
There has to be something said about the heart of the Amer-Icon Lion here, DK.
I would have to say something to be said about the heart of both these men. And the spear.
Both of these men, of course, possessing amazing fighting spirit. DK, here it is! Oh my God! And he's up immediately!
That has to be it for King. No! Here finds his way out.
Both of these men shrugging off each other's signature maneuvers here, DK. The kneeling pile driver, the choke sleeper. And what's this? Oh, dragon sleeper off the top rope!
Oh my God.
He's not done. Jordan King's not done though.
How is Kano even on his feet, much less slamming King to the mat here?
He is a superhuman athlete, DK. That is the only possible explanation. Both of these men are superhuman. Full Nelson applied. DK, Full Nelson, a submission.
Oh,
King has tapped out. Kazuya Kano.
Oh my God. What a match.
What a tremendous bout here this evening on Power Pro Wrestling, DK. Jordan King submitted Kazuya Kano.
In what I might go so far as to call an instant classic here on Power Pro.
I have to agree, DK, that is a main event anywhere in the world.
Absolutely, but wow, King really cementing himself in the early going in the race for the Golden Crown.
He's 2-0. He is 2-0 so far in his Power Pro Wrestling career. He is undefeated thus far. The only man, I believe, who can claim that with 2 matches under his belt. Here we see some events that are unfolded earlier, of course. But DK, I'm just in shock at really everything we've seen here. This has been a fantastic and surprising night.
Absolutely. Following up on last week, again, just surprise after surprise. As we see here, Power and Rose. Again, Power managing to acquit herself quite well after last week's knockout.
Proving that she is not just a blue chipper. She is someone who can compete at the highest level in this company. Brooke Power now joins Kid Grime on the board for her bracket. What a tremendous effort from Brooke Power here tonight. Karen Rose, of course, doing a tremendous job of fighting Brooke Power tonight, but she was not able to repeat the outstanding victory, shocking victory that she executed last week.
Absolutely, and I think Rose still going to be coming back soon with a lot to prove following that.
I have to agree, DK. And here we go back to the tag team bout, Team Canada versus Team Mexico.
Absolutely, as La Loba Blanca here tried to also acquit herself after last week's very disappointing loss, I would have to say. But the real story,
the amazing effort from Hijo del Phoenix.
Absolutely, but I think the biggest story coming out of this match is Phoenix after that. Really,
we're still at this time uncertain as to the condition of El Hijo del Phoenix. He looked great in the early going of the bout. Something happened, and at this time, all that is known is that he is in the care of medical professionals.
And then, of course, our main event tonight, and it did not disappoint. Kano versus King here. Just an absolute brawl between these two men. Showing
a tremendous bout.
Every ounce of fighting spirit from both of them.
From start to finish, this was the match to watch. These men hit each other with everything in their arsenal, and they kept going.
That's right, but of course, only one man could be the victor here.
Here we see again just the sheer effort, the amazing displays of power from both of these men.
Really, again, just incredible. That axe handle, so much damage to Kano. I could not believe he was out, especially after the dragon suplex off the top rope there.
And you have to wonder how much damage that dragon suplex did to the neck and shoulder area of Kazuya Kano, and we'll find out how he's doing next week, because next week in the main event, Team Japan, Ichiko Kano and Kazuya Kano are going to be taking on Kid Grime, and in her professional wrestling debut, the notorious Donna Reed, Team UK versus Team Japan. That's next week here on this very program, Fight Fans, and we hope to see you joining us next week.